My crusade has brought me here to New York because, as we know, child sexual abuse is happening across this world. There are an estimated 42 million survivors of sexual abuse here in America alone. 3 million of those are children. That could fill 46 national football stadiums. Get that image in your head for a moment. This is the silent epidemic that is going on in our society that nobody wants to address. We often look the other way and act as if it's not going on. But it is going on in our own backyards. It's going on here in our own backyards in Albany, New York. As a young child growing up in the suburbs of Chicago, I was sexually abused from 6 to 8 and a half by a neighbor who threatened me, told me not to tell anybody. This man eventually raped me, just weeks shy of my 7th birthday. Was I telling anybody? No, because I was not being educated on it. When I moved at 8 and a half years old, that little angry little girl that I was repressed everything that was going on and started to begin her life again. But at age 11, I woke up to an older teenage cousin sexually abusing me, somebody I loved and trusted. Once again, somebody I knew. The sexual abuse went on until I was 13. I wasn't telling anybody again. It was 14 years ago today that I finally found my voice when I was brought to a children's advocacy center in Illinois. It was there I found the courage to break my silence and tell what had been going on to me, the secret that I was told nobody would believe me, that I would destroy our family, that I had no proof. You see, as a child growing up, I learned tornado drills, bus drills, fire drills. I learned all about stranger danger. Don't go look for the lost puppy. Don't take candy from that stranger. No one was educating me on safe touch, unsafe touch, safe secrets, unsafe secrets. I was taught the 8 ways on how to say no to drugs. But where were the 8 ways on how to get away and how to tell today? They never came. So I stayed silent. And that's why it is my mission now to not see other children across this nation, across this world, live in the silence that I lived in as a child, to break their silence if anyone ever tries to do anything inappropriate, to have the language, the education, to be empowered with their voice, to tell somebody. For parents to wake up and realize that this is not just about stranger danger, not just to worry about your kids being snatched from the bus stop, to sit down and talk to your children about this. And I will not give up until all 50 states have passed this law. And currently, I have 3 states that have signed it. It's waiting the governor's signature in Maine, and hopefully we can make New York that next state. I appreciate all your support, and one day we can say that we have all 50 states that have signed this law. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today we have a very special guest in the chamber with us, someone who has courage and commitment and who has spent the better part of the last year fighting for a very important piece of legislation which he hopes to pass in all 50 states, named for her, Erin Merryn's Law. I just want to take a couple of moments to share, Erin's story, because it certainly is a compelling one, and she's someone who took great tragedy.
Sorry, Senator Klein, go ahead.
Thank you. She has went through great tragedy in her life and sort of tried to make it into a positive. At a very early age, Erin was raped by a next-door neighbor, a friend of the family. Later on in her life, when she was 11, she was sexually abused by an older cousin. And, she never, learned anything in school about what to do when confronted by someone you know. This is not a stranger who, when growing up, were taught to beware of. Don't get into a car with a stranger. Don't talk to a stranger. These were family members. These were people who were supposed to be friendly to her, people who were friends of her family. So Erin has taken on a very important mission and a very important cause. She wants to pass Erin Merryn's law in all 50 states, which would simply mandate that the curriculum in our schools, starting at kindergarten, actually teach what to do to make sure you're not sexually abused by someone you know, someone who you don't know. Right now in the state of New York, thanks to Senator Skelos, a law was passed in 1994, which presently mandates in our school curriculum around the state the teaching to students as early as kindergarten to prevent being abducted. So this is not going to be an added mandate or an added cost. This is merely adding the part about making sure to be wary or learn to deal or understand and making sure you're not abused by someone you know who you don't know. So this is something that I think is very, very important. When you look at the statistics, they're rather devastating. 94% of young people who were the victims of sexual abuse, the actual abuser is someone they know. So it's no longer that individual in some dark alley. There's no longer that individual trying to lure you into a car. In many cases, it's people we see and we know and we see every day and trust. So today, this is something important to me, and I know it's important to Erin. And I would like to recognize her today in the chamber. She's someone who has had this legislation passed in Illinois, in Missouri, in Indiana. It's awaiting the signature of the governor in Maine, and hopefully we can make New York State one of those states that passes Erin Merryn's law. So thank you, Erin, for being here today. And Mr. President, I vote yes. And I'd like to recognize, I hope the chamber can welcome and give Ms. Merryn a hand for all of our hard work and dedication.
Erin, we extend the full courtesies of the chamber to you today. Senator Klein will be recorded in the affirmative. Senator Adams to explain his vote.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just explain my vote and really commend Senator Klein on this bill, and just to commend young Erin. You know, it's difficult to turn pain into purpose, and often people go internally when they feel a level of pain instead of reaching out and trying to prevent other people from experiencing that pain. And you know, stories like this is so profound, and I think it's important that we use our classrooms for more than just teaching 1 and 1 equals 2. It must teach some of the challenging socialization problems that young people will experience. So this is commendable, and I truly thank you, not only for myself as a senator, but as someone that has a son. And it's heroes like you that make it possible for legislators not to get so far removed in this comfortable environment that we're in. There are real problems out there, and real people like you are giving us some great solutions. So I thank my colleague for this bill, and I thank you for doing this. We must make all states in this America also have this bill on the book. Thank you very much.
Senator Adams recorded in the affirmative. Senator Montgomery to explain her vote.
Yes, Mr. President, I join my colleagues in complimenting Ms. Merryn. I think that her work is admirable, and hopefully we can spread this success more nationwide. I'm voting no on this, not because I am not absolutely supportive of the legislation or the intent of this legislation, but I do want to make a statement about, I too have legislation that would require sex education in every school, in every grade, appropriate to every grade from 1st through 12th. We do not have that. I also am a huge advocate of school-based health clinics, where we would have health professionals to speak to young people about all of the aspects of their health, their mental health needs, their nutritional education needs, as well as their sexuality and their sex education. We do not approach young people in a comprehensive way. Everything is piecemeal for them, and therefore some people, some youngsters will get it, others will never get it, and we never do a thorough and complete job of making sure our young people have all that they need comprehensively. So I object to this process. That's what I am voting no about. But however, I am all in favor of young people having sex education and all the information available about their sexuality and to protect them and their health. So, but I vote no on this bill.
Senator Montgomery will be recorded in the negative. Senator Savino to explain her vote.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise in support of this piece of legislation, and I just want to say to Erin Merryn, you're a remarkable young woman who has shown tremendous courage where most people would run away and hide. You've chosen to make this your own personal mission. As I said to you earlier today at the press conference, when I was a caseworker in the city's Child Welfare Administration, the most difficult cases that I dealt with were children who were victims of sexual abuse. Their scars were internal, not external. You couldn't look at them and see the bruises. You couldn't see their broken bones. You couldn't see the evidence of the abuse that they suffered. But it is a very real suffering that millions of children go through. And the really sad reality is the majority of those children are victimized by people they know and trust, family members, people who they look up to, people who they would not question. And when we think about the very small children who are most at risk, they have no other frame of reference. They don't know what sexual abuse is because they don't know what sex is. They don't know what appropriate touching is. They don't know what's inappropriate. So we need to educate our children. We need to educate our educators. Because as we begin to talk about these things publicly, we're going to have children who begin to self-report about what's happening in their home, or when they visit their uncle, or when they see their next-door neighbor. So this has to be a collaborative effort about educating children, educating our communities, and trying to cut back on the risk that young children face every day at the hands of people they know and love the most. So I want to thank you, Erin. I want to thank Senator Klein for bringing this legislation forward, and Assemblyman Dinowitz in the Assembly, and hopefully this will be the next state that adopts Erin Merryn's law. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Savino will be recorded in the affirmative. Senator Smith to explain his vote.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Let me rise just to thank my colleague, Senator Klein, for bringing forth this significant piece of legislation. To Erin, thank you. That's all I can say to you, just thank you. You are very brave. I don't know how you muster up the strength, given what you have been through, to do this, but to be so magnanimous in your effort for other people. I know God will continue to bless you and your family, and know that we are going to do the right thing by you. And we know how hard this is for you. You probably remember it night after night. I have a daughter myself, and I don't know if I could even stand to have her sit here and hear this. This is serious, and I hope people understand how serious this is. This is not a matter of you being here for anything other than the fact that you feel it's the right thing to do. So I'm going to vote yes, and know that I will ask all my colleagues as well as others to do so. God bless you.
Senator Smith will be recorded in the affirmative. Announce the result.
Ayes 55, nays 1. Senator Montgomery recorded in the negative.
The bill is passed.